That goes to Adams County. I don't know why. Yeah, I know.
Pat. And then I took this and I said, oh, I don't know anything about it.
This is under $4,000, so that's why. That's,
That was sent to us.
what's the name? Yeah,
That was printed out.
no, this was the one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Well, I printed it out and I thought, well, I asked you.
But that was-
Yeah, that's the
I
engineer.
thought she told me that she
Oh, it is?
emailed it.
Okay, I didn't even look at this.
So I don't know where she got them. I can't ask her.
Yeah, so that's very good thing, yeah.
That was another plan that had included that. It's in there. Yes, yeah.
Oh, this one? No.
No, that's.
Salt chair. Well, throw the number one, that's all. It may not be. And then just me. No. No.
Hi. How did you like that pot pie that Brenda brought us?
Good.
It was good.
It was good.
What I roll.
She said.
No? I haven't said it.
It's the same sort, it's the same as what I said. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call the planning commission meeting to order. Ted is out under the weather tonight, so I'll chair. Got a fairly short agenda tonight. First of all public comment on the agenda. Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on. The minutes from the June 23rd meeting, everybody had an opportunity to review those. Any comments? Entertaining a motion to approve them as they are?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
Any further comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, carries unanimously. All right, next up. Zoning officers report.
This month, July, we had 6 zoning permits. The report from NDIA, we have 26 active permits currently, and 23 inspections were performed in the month of June for NDIA.
The active permits over what time period? Starting when?
Some of them are several months old, some of them are.
So some will go back to Gus.
Right, oh yeah, definitely. These are ones that have not had their final inspection yet.
All right,
And that's all I have.
okay. Any questions on, okay. Engineers report. Scott.
Greenbrier Road project is finished. Final paperwork is at the Conservation District, so they'll give us our last check coming out. Everything's good, Conservation District's happy, property owners are happy, I think the township's happy. Myerstown culvert replacement, the contractor started today, doing some preliminary work, so he's going to be starting now, and he anticipates about a four-week construction timeframe.
Okay.
Update to the
Oh,
south.
by the way, before you leave that one.
Sure.
What's the coordination like with Brightspeed? Because we're gonna have to move one of their cables there, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Haven't heard anything.
okay, all right. If you
Not
need-
since I sent him stuff like 6 weeks ago.
yeah, if you need help, you'll probably need help.
I probably need to.
Yeah. Okay,
The update to the salvo, final drafts ready for the supervisors. The solicitors already looked at it, made his comments.
okay, there are two things I should have mentioned. Andy's obviously not here tonight, he's not gonna be here tonight, so we'll pick up the next round of that work when he's back in a month. The one thing is, did Todd make some changes, or make some comments, I guess is probably a better way of saying it?
Yes, he made some suggestions, yes.
Okay, and,
Just in the legalese part of it,
okay, and were those changes made?
yes.
Okay,
Andy worked with him, with Todd, to come up to something that's acceptable to both of them and me as well.
okay, all right. Okay, then next phase of that then is it'll go to the supervisors for
Yes.
for their approval.
Right.
All right, any questions on any of that? Okay,
Plans. Joseph Stiles, 1 lot subdivision. It was approved by you. It's on the agenda for the next Board of Supervisors meeting for their final approval. EV clearing, Dealer property. Their engineer has responded to my second round of comments. I received that last week. I haven't had a chance to review the response yet. There are some zoning issues, so they submitted a request for variances to the zoning hearing board. We'll talk more about that later.
okay,
Chronister single family plan. I talked to their engineer last week. He said he's working on comments. I told him the board is gonna have to take action by August 8th. August 17th. So he's preparing request for extension.
Okay, so the supervisor's gonna need that to their next meeting, that
Right.
extension,
Right.
okay?
And I told their engineer that, or surveyor that.
Okay.
You're welcome to make a recommendation to them whether you want to grant that extension. I'm not sure how typically if the planning commission weighs in on that.
If they ask us, we'll address it. I think if we have no information other than they're gonna need an extension, we don't do it.
Yeah, other than the initial submission 3 months ago, I don't.
We don't have.
I don't
Yeah,
have anything.
so if they asked us for something, we'd look at it and respond, but they didn't think we will. Okay?
And the water addition for Lehman Starner, I just received that, I haven't had a chance to review that. So board action for that plan is due by October 26th.
And what is that and why are we involved? It's Dickinson Township, right?
Yes, but there's a corner of the property that's in Huntington. And we're not really affected by it because the property line change is on the other township, the other county side. But since a corner of the existing tract is in Huntington, legally, we have to review it and the township has to sign off.
And that's actually not our county either, it's Cumberland, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so, then where we are right now is, nothing to do, we don't even need to table that,
Correct.
there's
Yeah,
nothing to do and,
There's, none of the plans are up for action.
yeah, okay. And when we review that, there's still really nothing to do, because it's not our decision to make, we just have to concur, in essence, concur with the
Well,
consent.
Well, the part of the property that's in Huntington Township, I mean, it's still required to meet zoning and
Yeah,
everything else.
okay,
You still have to make the decision, it's not a very difficult one.
no, there's nothing, okay, just wanted to be clear. And what's the new Bloomfield part of that? That's the address of their engineer, because that's the address I keep saying. For Jack,
Yeah, that's,
or surveyor maybe, huh?
yeah, that's their surveyor.
Okay, all right, good enough. Okay. All right, ready for new business? New business.
Old business,
I'm sorry, old code.
the land development plan for EV clearing storage area is still under review. That's the update.
Okay,
Okay, move on to new business.
yeah, that's, okay. And this is, none of this has to do with the White Church Road property, right?
Correct.
This is all theirs.
Correct.
Okay, just want to be clear. All right, okay, new business now.
The property owners requested a variance. I gave you some information regarding that, like a copy of their application, a copy of the site plan, section of the ordinance that they're requesting relief from.
Okay, why don't you, just give us a brief summary, I mean, I read it. A brief summary of the reasons or what four items they're looking for, variance on.
The property is zoned commercial, and it's a unique situation in that it's not your typical commercial development where there's paved parking and customers coming, and there's a building with four walls and a roof and things like that.
Yep.
So the first variance request is that, the requirement is that all open parking areas shall be properly drained and shall be provided with an all-weather surface. So, right now, there's not gonna be any customer, parking available, there's just gonna need one or two spaces for the equipment operator. And currently, it's all gonna be stoned. They're not proposing any asphalt pavement.
Why wouldn't they be able to have stone anyway? Is that a condition in our commercial zone that it has to be paved?
Yeah, all parking areas must have an all-weather surface,
Okay.
which means, bituminous asphalt or concrete or double coat of lawn chip.
All right, good.
The next requirement is, curbs and sidewalks are required to be surrounding parking areas and within all public rights of way abutting the parking areas. Again, there's not gonna be sidewalks to direct pedestrian traffic to the building entrances and whatnot, because there's no buildings. There's no need for concrete curbs. All the drainage is gonna be sheet flow to the stormwater areas.
Okay.
The next requirement is that, at least two separate points of ingress and egress are required from an arterial or major collector road. I'm not sure why this is, included in the zoning ordinance, but it is, and there's no way that PennDOT's gonna permit two access points on Old Harrisburg Road. You know, in the past 10, 15 years, they've really cracked down on number of access points on the state highway.
Well, could they deny an access at all? I mean, if they come out and evaluate it
Oh, yeah.
and say, you know, this is not safe,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
what's your options then, or there is none?
Yeah, I don't know, I can't speak for PennDOT.
Okay, well, I just wondered how that worked.
It'd be a problem.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times when there's safety issues, they'll have restrictions of movement on a driveway. Sometimes it'll only be a right in, right out instead of full movement, something like that.
Yeah, that's an option. On a road like that, I don't understand.
So we basically have no impact from that at all.
No, we have an impact because our code calls for two.
Yeah, I get that.
So he has to have a variance from our code to even be considered.
To even apply to the state.
And municipal concurrence is required for a PennDOT permit. The property owner is here. I don't know if you want to hear from him first, or if you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask.
Is the zoning hearing set?
No, the date has not been set yet. The zoning hearing solicitor has all the information, and he's working with the property owner and the property owner's engineer to come up with a date,
Okay.
which will be in August, sometime in August.
My memory on these is that we the planning commission, don't make a recommendation, but it seems like your expectation is for us to make a recommendation.
I was told that the planning commission wants to make a review and recommendation for all issues, so I'm trying to accommodate that.
Okay.
And this affords the property owner to hear some preliminary comments of what he can expect coming up to the zoning hearing board.
Well, one comment I'd have is, I don't think anything we're gonna say is gonna influence the zoning hearing board. My experience is it hasn't in the past, but, so that'd be point one. Point two, I appreciate the request, that I think I'm one of the ones who made it, that we wanna review these things. I did not view that as us making a recommendation, because I don't think our recommendation carries anything with the zoning hearing board anyway. That would be up to them whether they wanted a recommendation from us. So that would be the second one. I think this is a good forum for a discussion, no problem there. And I think we have some neighbors. I don't know if you guys want to ask any questions, since we have the property owner here, so open forum's not necessarily where we are right now, but I don't mind if there are questions with the property owner here, if anything. There are a couple specific things. I don't know, Ellen, if you want to comment on the what you expect your truck to be. This is going to come up at the hearing board clearly, and probably some of these same people that are here now are going to be at the hearing board and have input. Do you want to comment on that so that everybody here is aware of what's in front of us right now?
I mean, with truck traffic, we're actually gonna downsize this to actually just a firewood operation. I'm gonna pull the soils out of it, so it's just a firewood operation is all we wanna do there.
Okay.
So truck traffic is, I don't really have a good number, I guess, off the top of my head for how much traffic would be there. It's not gonna be a lot. Like I said, we do roughly 40 tractor trailer loads of firewood a year is what we put out. You know, tri-axle it back and forth to the other property. That's probably, I don't know, equivalent to maybe 200 loads throughout 6 months, 6-7 months of time that we would be taking it over to the other property for retail sale.
And there'll be no retail sale out of this?
There's no retail sale, there's no public coming in and out of there, it's just our operation with our employees.
Okay. You guys have any questions on it? Maureen?
Yes, I have a question concerning the amount of employees you'll be having working there on that property for firewood.
Between two to four people.
Okay. And you had indicated at the I believe it was the Board of Supervisors. No, it was at the Planning Commission meeting. You indicated that your season for splitting wood, et cetera, is August through the fall, and then you end in November. You sell out by November. Is that, okay.
Sometimes December, it
Okay.
depends.
So one of the questions I have, and for this board, are you going to be, they're going to be working there, you have no buildings. Are you going to be using porta potties for this permanent commercial business?
Yes.
Is that allowed? It is?
Yeah.
Okay. And in reference to the gravel on the property, there's going to be heavy tractor trailers bringing, trunks of trees in. Isn't that gravel going to just be literally buried in any kind of soil?
Well, I'm not speaking for his design, because we
Right.
don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use gravel on crushed stone and have as much
Okay.
weight as a tarmac
Mhm.
would be. So you can absolutely do
Yeah.
it. You just have to be prepared properly.
Mhm. And you had indicated there was going to be noise, probably in line with what highway traffic. So you're taking out this soil processing that you were going to do. Is that going to lessen the noise for the operation with the firewood splitting?
I would say the operation's still about the same.
It would be the same, okay. I think that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, one of the things is the time frame for your work. Okay, since you're now going to have is that going to be a seasonal place that you're working, or because you're only doing firewood from August through November?
I wouldn't say it's gonna be a seasonal place. I mean, we could be manufacturing at any time. It depends on if employees are not busy. Might need to be able to send somebody over there to do something.
Oh, okay, so you would be getting these tree trunks in throughout the year? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying? Okay. Because in the summer, you had indicated at the one meeting that you're gonna run from daylight to dark. And usually you run at 7 a.m. and you're done by 3 or 4, but you also indicated, I wouldn't be, I'm not saying I wouldn't be over there working a little later. So what's a little later? Like in the summer, it's usually 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Daylight till dark.
Excuse me?
Daylight till dark.
Okay, so the neighbors are going to be listening to noise, all that, from 7 a.m. to
Not gonna
9.
produce a lot of noise.
I think highway traffic noise, which you equated it to, is quite noisy. So, okay,
Well,
We do have noise ordinances and nuisance ordinances.
mm-hmm,
The only thing I'd think of would be chainsaws.
That firewood processor, that's usually pulled by a semi in a big unit, or how you guys do
it
it?
run, 650 dump can pull it around.
Now,
It's just a-
yeah, but it's not a log splitter like you have at your house, it's a pretty big.
It's the size of a 10 by, well, an 8 by 12 trailer with a small little conveyor off the back. Chainsaw noise is no louder than a weed whacker or a lawnmower.
Both are annoying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that one.
But we don't use a chainsaw to cut the wood. The processor has its own bar saw, so it doesn't have a 2-cycle motor like a weed whacker sound.
I have a question on the entrance that he was talking about the last time, down in the hollow. It's where he wants to put an entrance and exit out of. Can you picture tractor trailer pulling out of that, down there in that hollow, and somebody coming from Heidelberg, going over the speed limit, cresting that hollow, and a tractor trailer full length across both lanes of that road?
Well, I can't picture that, but that's gonna be the PennDOT call,
PennDOT will decide.
not our.
Yeah.
And is PennDOT aware that he's gonna be bringing tractor trailers in and out of
They'll be
that?
aware of everything we're aware of.
Okay.
And more, because they'll ask more questions than we will, because they have a bigger mandate than we
And,
do. You don't hide anything from PennDOT, just to be clear.
okay, how about the county? Now, the county last time was under the impression that he was gonna do retail sales and storage. Well, now that completely changed to the manufacturing of firewood. Is the county aware of that?
The county will be aware of everything, we in PennDOT, I'm on the county planning commission.
Okay.
We will be aware of everything
I'm just-
we're aware of here.
Just curious, that's all.
That's how it works.
That was my questions, was I have the comments from the county here. And as the plan said at this time, again, it may have changed,
It did.
which happens.
Yep.
It says topsoil storage and sales operation. So if we approve what the county has as of now, anybody could come in here and say, well, we're only gonna be doing firewood, but his permit says this, and then you have a problem like we have currently on White Church Road where, that's what I think people wanna avoid, is any issues that we've already had before with this other operation. And Andy makes it pretty clear in here that if it's manufacturing, it has to go for a conditional use hearing. He says that in there, so that's to protect, okay, if you wanna do firewood, this is what you're doing, but you wanna start hauling mulch over and selling, well, that's different now. See, that wasn't upkept with the last operation, which is why we got all these rumors and compost and all these other things. It should really definitely be done that way, and I know you guys are still looking at it, but that was my only point, that the conditions it needs to be clear what it is. So if it's pitched as firewood and it's approved as firewood or whatever, that's what it is. It's not 5 years down the road and a mulch pile you can see from Old 15 across the highway and a bunch of pissed off neighbors. Because we got way more people. This is gonna affect more people than White Church Road, in my opinion, as far as road, neighbors, and everything else, which I know you guys are aware of that,
Yeah.
but
Agreed, and understood.
That's
I agree with that.
mine in a nutshell.
Okay. And compared to what was done in the mid-1990s, you can
Right.
understand.
Exactly, and that's
Way-
why I know
way
that
ahead.
was its own bird.
Yeah.
Not saying that that would happen again, but things around here don't always go the way they should, so.
Much easier to capture things when you have PennDOT,
Right.
county, township, and a zoning variance.
Right, right.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
No, one of the things that was brought up at a previous meeting, Mr. Diller indicated the property is going to be cut down lower so that noise and any operation cannot be seen from, by the neighbors. So that's a little, is he hiding something? I mean, I know, okay, this is just being devil's advocate. Because of the issue at White Church Road.
It's to help with sound is what,
Okay.
is what the idea is, and so people cannot see the operation to help with that.
Okay.
Exactly.
And
Right.
you guys can go inspect.
I mean, I can keep it
No.
up high and.
No, but you know the problem with the previous, with the other property.
I'm not presupposing.
Yeah, we're cutting the property down from.
No, I did, yeah, that was probably an incorrect word I used,
Cut that
but,
down to the grade that's out there by the
Let's
building.
have
What-
one conversation.
oh, I'm
And we
sorry.
have all the trees planted along the top, we're gonna put a berm up along between us and that house up beside us, with trees down along there. Like I said, the operation, you're gonna have trouble hearing it, we're asking to move the driveway down to there to try to help with you neighbors, so your neighbors don't have a problem with the trucks coming in and out. If we keep the driveway up top where it originally is, the sight distance and all that will not be an issue. And then you will hear the trucks in and out. So I'm trying to work with you guys at the same time.
Mhm.
The sight distance from there to the top of that hill is more sight distance than Rudders has when you get off of 234 and come down to Rudders. Tractor trailers pull out of there every day,
All day.
all day.
All day.
Many tractor trailers.
Yeah.
I myself have pulled out of there. I know what it takes for trucks to get in and out. Our trucks aren't as long as a 53-foot tractor trailer. We have a lot shorter trailers for logs. So they'll be pulling in most of the time loaded. They won't be going out of there loaded, so they can, take off out of there a lot faster. The only thing that would be coming out of there loaded would mostly be a triaxle.
Okay. Okay, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to check, you were talking about the berm areas you're putting in, is that also gonna be a berm area that's facing, Old Harrisburg Road? Are you gonna have it on that?
That's where the cut down is.
Okay, and I apologize for using the word hide, because what I was thinking, was, if you have a berm area, and you've got these trucks coming out, it's not visible to people driving.
There's no, that's
That
not,
wouldn't be an
it's
issue?
not a berm, it's,
It'd be back away from the road.
Yes,
so you
yes.
can-
It'll be back off.
Oh, it would,
Our code is written to accommodate the fact that it has to be back away.
The
for
state has a
visibility.
right of way, he has to stay out of.
Yes.
yeah, because at the other property, it seems it's close to, and that may have been because of a litigation matter, and maybe that's why that was put in, closer to the road? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And again, I apologize for the height thing.
Okay,
As I
so-
said,
Go ahead.
no, I just meant about driving and visibility on Old Harrisburg Road. That's what I was concerned about.
So, just to be clear, normally, this isn't the forum for this discussion. I'm happy it happened. Thank you for participating in it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions. When a zoning variance is up, the forum for that is the zoning hearing board, which is good at doing what they do. That's not what we do.
Mhm.
But when we can, I'm happy, or at least if I'm ready, I'm happy to conduct a discussion so that everybody can get their concerns, and it's nice to have the property owner here to
Yep.
address them. So, just to let you know, though, that isn't always gonna happen, because this isn't necessarily the forum that worked out tonight. We have a short agenda and a good opportunity.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'd just like to say to the owner, I do appreciate the fact that driveway would be down there where you're talking about. It would be in my best interest, but I just do fear for them not letting you do it, account of the line of sight from traffic coming
And PennDOT,
from Hunter.
PennDOT land.
But it would be better for me. I appreciate that. I agree with, I appreciate you taking the neighbors into consideration there.
I don't think that.
Also, the other thing I wanted to ask was, at what level is it here at the planning commission, the zoning, or the supervisors? At what level do they take into consideration the impact of something like this on the neighbors?
Presumably at all those levels. So county will take it into consideration, we'll take it into consideration. Our zoning restrictions and code is designed to take those things into consideration. It can't cover everything, so we know there's opportunities for discussion. And lastly, certainly, the biggest area, if there's a zoning variance, that's where, at the hearing, that's where all this should come out, specific to this issue. So that's the keystone in a zoning variance situation, which this is.
Because they're asking for not to do all the rules.
That's right.
The rules are set in place to cover all that, but whenever he wants a variance for a rule, that's where
And then
it's
zoning,
complicated.
the hearing board can say, well, we're allowed, but this has to happen, and then that's when you guys have to listen to them.
That's correct.
Yep.
Okay.
That's-
All right, good discussion, thank you. All right, so, where are we? So that covers new business, I
Much
think.
faster. 15.
All right, I think we had a lot of public comments there, or any other public comments?
It's like 45, that's 10 minutes.
Is that for the whole?
The whole, yeah.
I had a question about, I'm not sure which plan it was, if it was Chronister or, but Ken was at the supervisors meeting last month and was unable to get his plan signed. What, you guys aware of what, I mean, I don't really need specifics, but why that wasn't done, and have we made any?
Wasn't on the agenda.
Okay, but why wasn't that?
But that's.
I know that, I know, Ron, I
I don't
know.
know. It wasn't
Somebody
on the
should
agenda.
know.
Yep.
We have a supervisor on the planning board, it's happened to Ken a couple times, and he was pretty irritated. So, just trying to see if that's something that can be worked on, that communication gets better between here and secretary, whoever does the agenda.
Yeah, so let me address that, I wasn't at that meeting,
I
but
know.
I discussed this with
Yeah.
them.
We were done with it at the unit.
Yeah, you guys, I know, you guys were,
Yeah.
That's not.
Let me just
and that's
address
why I
that
was asking.
going
Yeah.
forward. So two things. One is, we have done a better job, not perfect, but we've done a better job of letting the supervisors know decisions we make here and moving on to them, and Roxy's been keeping them up.
Right.
This absolutely has been a rockier time with Gus leaving. That Gus would, he wasn't perfect either, clearly, but Gus would miss those things occasionally too. But he did a pretty good job with it. So the coordination between, Scott seeing our minutes and, communicating that to whoever prepares the agenda, which is others, for the supervisors meeting. We're gonna work on making that more crisp than it's been, and there'll still be a bit of a learning curve
Right.
as we all transition. One point I would make though, and Ken knows it. I'll tell you, if I'm the engineer and I want something on the agenda, I'm gonna make sure it's on the agenda. I'm not gonna assume it's gonna be on the agenda. If I've got a client who's paying me to get a plan done, I'm gonna make sure it's on the agenda. So, that's not a shot at Ken in any way. Ken's a great engineer and a friend of the township, and he's been very good with all of us. But the engineer has a responsibility of making sure what's important to his client is on the agenda as well. So it's not just us. Yes, we can help, and yes, we can move it forward. But there are times when the engineer doesn't want it on the next agenda. Because if there's a delay, they're changing something, whatever it is. So we can't just assume it's to move up. We can communicate, we can ask, we approved it here, it's probably supposed to be on the next agenda. But it's not automatic, so it's all of us working together to do what's right. We don't wanna torture Ken, we don't wanna torture certainly the taxpayer here who wants to get their project done, but it's a team effort. So we're addressing it, I heard about it, of course. And so we're working on.
Well, and I didn't
ways
assume it was, I was pretty certain it wasn't nothing to do with the board here tonight, I was pretty certain on
But it
that.
wasn't, but we can help, we can,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
And then-
did he let the township know?
I'm told no, but because of the switchover with that,
Well,
it could have been.
I've seen it happen in Ken many times
I
for
know.
quite some time, so
I know.
more than that.
So I'm told no, but I can't be positive. That's why I don't wanna blame anybody.
Yeah,
It's just-
well, and I get
yeah.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
the property owner does bear some responsibility to make sure that either his engineer or even himself, him or herself, make sure that it is on the agenda. If it's your
It's
property,
important to them.
just like anyone else, if you wanted to move on, you best follow up on your engineers or attorneys or whoever, because
He just seemed more upset about it that night than before, so it just seemed,
I know.
rightfully
I think
so.
if I hire an engineer, I think he needs to be doing that himself, that's why I'm paying him. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to be
Well,
babysitting him.
You're right.
yeah,
Right.
no, I agree with you.
Yeah, we approved it and. he-
Right, and like I
he
said,
made
I
sure- paid
was pretty
attention,
certain it wasn't,
Made sure it was on.
right.
Yeah, all right,
It's not assumed it was on.
so that's the point.
Quick question, is there someone responsible to give that information to the secretary or the board of supervisors who have, I know Pat is in charge of the agenda. I mean, that happened to that same gentleman at one of the planning commission meetings, and it was for another property, and Gus didn't have it, and he was very upset about it, and,
That was a mistake. he
but
made. No,
quite
here,
yeah,
yes.
I would just, like I
So
said,
that's a different question.
Yeah.
Because that's a question of a different agenda. That was our agenda,
Yeah.
not the supervisor.
but this is why I think this man was so upset, and then the board kind of thought it was funny. I mean,
Well, I'm not
nobody was
suggesting
held
whether
responsible.
the board thought it was funny, I wasn't
No,
at the meeting.
No, I'm just stating that because
Okay.
he walked out, he was so upset, and instead of saying, okay, we're going to look into this, why this happened, it was just, oh, we don't know, and there's no responsibility taken. So that's why I was wondering, is there a special person, like Gus used to do it, I guess,
Okay.
because he was involved so heavily with it?
So the special people, to answer your question, are Roxy, who does the minutes,
Mm-hmm,
and then that's given to Scott and then to Pat
Okay.
to work together.
so that is
That's
the
the-
chain of command,
Yes,
okay,
that's a communication chain, it's not really a chain.
okay.
Okay.
I
All right.
had one more question, it was
Yes.
about the Greenbrier Road culvert. Supervisors meeting, I brought up about the cost of these pipes, and Ron, you said something about the rock bill?
They didn't, they haven't finalized the numbers. There was a rock charge, a bad rock charge.
Okay, but
And
that,
goes on top.
but is that being paid by the township, or,
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to pay it.
but we agreed the contract,
That doesn't matter. Rock is exempt from contract prices.
There is no way in this world, I can pave a whole road for $160,000, there's
I
no
don't
way.
know.
Someone needs-
I know, I was just
They
asking,
have a big rock charge.
because it hasn't been brought up at any supervisors meetings, I don't think.
I don't think they have a final bill.
I know this isn't you guys, but while I had him
It's
here
not
too.
us.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't-
not us.
I know.
It shouldn't be,
We know
if you
you
wanna
should-
talk to Ron afterwards, talk to Ron.
All right.
I don't wanna be on the record and say
Okay.
something.
Well,
Yes,
when I was sitting on the board, this was actually turned over to
to what?
the planning commission about discussing these projects, so, I mean, that's part of it.
Okay, well, it hasn't been in our mandate, it's on our mandate now.
Well, that's why I never heard about it
Yeah.
until he brought up about it, and that just seemed, again, not you guys.
Yeah.
I'm open floor here, whatever, off the camera, whatever you wanna call it.
No, we're on the
That-
camera.
okay. That-
Just so you know.
That just seems like $160,000 overcharge. Some board in this township should know about that and let us know what's going on. Again, not saying it's you
So
guys.
it's not us now.
All right.
Maybe someday it will be, but it's not us now.
We're not blaming anybody.
No, I'm not blaming anybody either.
We need to ask
I
that
just-
question.
I will
I
ask
get
the supervisors at the next meeting,
Yeah.
because they're the head of the, and I get it.
Yeah,
I just, the only time I see that man is right now, so.
fair enough.
That's it.
All right. Any other public comment?
No, I just want to thank you, Ted. You would, Ted, sorry, Todd. Ted Decker and you run a very, very cordial and very professional meeting, and as a resident, I appreciate that.
Thanks, Tom.
What kind of leeway do we have when they announce the zoning variance meeting? How far ahead of time do they announce that for the actual meeting?
It's usually a month ahead, but it doesn't have to be. I think 14 days is the legal requirement, does that sound right, Scott?
Yeah, it'll be,
You'll have about 2 weeks.
it'll be posted in the newspaper, and it's required to be posted on the property.
Yeah,
A minimum of 10 days before the hearing.
And it'll be on the website too, I assume.
Yeah, it'll be on.
When are the letters sent out to the neighbors, to the adjoining
The letters will be
neighbors?
sent when I have a date of the hearing.
Once
But
they-
is there a certain amount of time beforehand, or it's whenever a
As-
date is announced?
As soon as I get the date from the solicitor, I will send the letters out.
So it's at least 10 days.
Yep, okay.
Okey doke. Good. All right, so, I think we're done with
I make a
all of
motion.
that. Well, hold on, let me announce upcoming.
Oh, okay.
meeting. All right. Board of Supervisors meeting, August 14th. Planning Commission, our next meeting, August 25th. And the zoning hearing board, we will determine pursuant to all your questions on that issue. All right, I will entertain a motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm assuming no one's opposed. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks for joining us.